It is 1989, and thousands of fans are packed into a Brazilian football stadium, roaring. The noise is deafening. The pressure on the pitch is absolute. Down on the grass, the home team, Bangu, is losing 2-0. The clock is running out, and the patience of the club's ownership is entirely exhausted. Up in the VIP box, the owner grabs his radio. This is Castor de Andrade, a notoriously violent mafia boss who runs his football club with the exact same ruthlessness as his criminal empire. He radios the manager down on the sidelines and issues a direct order. Put our new star signing, Carlos Kaiser, into the game right now, or you are a dead man. Down on the bench, Carlos hears the order. He is completely out of options. Every fake injury he has claimed over the past month has expired. And more importantly, Carlos has zero athletic ability. He cannot play football. If he walks out onto that grass, the thousands of people watching, including the mobster paying his salary, will instantly see he is a complete fraud. If he refuses to go in, he might not leave the stadium alive. To understand exactly how a man who hated running managed to trap himself on the bench of a mafia-owned professional football team, we have to look at the exact mechanics of the scam he was running. The environment of Rio de Janeiro in the early 80s provided the perfect cover for a con. The city was vibrant, the culture was chaotic, and professional football was a largely unregulated industry. There were no international scouting networks or data analytics. Club rosters were dictated by handshake deals, corruption, and the whims of wealthy, connected owners. Carlos wanted the massive paychecks, the VIP treatment, and the fame of a top-tier athlete. He just refused to do the exhausting physical labor required to actually become one. Instead of training his body, he trained his personality. He realized that inside an industry built on personal relationships, raw charm was far more valuable than a good penalty kick. He began operating as a high-end fixer. He would organize exclusive parties, handle logistics, and make sure the authentic football stars had whatever they wanted when they were off the clock. He built genuine friendships with world-class players like Romario. They liked him, they trusted him, and they wanted to keep him around. When these superstars signed lucrative contracts with major clubs, they would tell the manager to bring their friend Carlos along as part of the deal. They vouched for him as a hidden talent, entirely bypassing the scouting process. Securing the contract was only the first step. Once he was officially on the roster, Carlos faced the immediate threat of actually sprinting on the grass during team practice. His solution was physical theater. On his very first day of training, he would run exactly one sprint, grab his leg, scream loudly, and collapse to the ground, claiming a severely torn hamstring. Because MRI machines were not standard, doctors couldn't verify soft tissue damage, relying entirely on the player's word. By exploiting this missing step, Carlos sat in physical therapy for months, collecting a full salary without ever touching a football. But an endlessly injured player is an eventual liability. He needed a way to make the club management believe he was still a highly valuable asset worth keeping on the payroll. He introduced a prop. He began carrying this exact style of massive, expensive mobile phone around the locker room, except his was a hollow toy. While sitting near the manager's office, he would speak loudly into the plastic phone in completely fabricated, gibberish English. He staged elaborate fake conversations where he aggressively turned down massive transfer offers from major European teams. Between the uncheckable medical excuses and the illusion of intense foreign demand, club officials were terrified of losing him. The scam successfully elevated a man who couldn't kick a ball into the most protected player on the team. Which brings us directly back to 1989. Carlos has repeated this cycle across several clubs, eventually landing a contract with Bangu, a team deeply entrenched in mob territory, and the owner, Castor de Andrade, has completely bypassed the normal management structure. He is ordering his supposed star investment onto the field to fix a losing game. There are no medical rooms left to hide in. He has to stand up from the bench, walk past the coach, and approach the brightly lit grass of the pitch. The entire architecture of his scam relied on institutional trust. He successfully manipulated doctors who assumed he was telling the truth, and athletes who genuinely liked him. But he failed to account for a criminal owner who demanded immediate, tangible return on his investment. You cannot charm your way out of a $2 million deficit. When you are standing on the sideline with a mobster's death threat hanging over your head, social engineering is completely useless. A well-crafted illusion can easily cheat a vulnerable system for years. But when a pure fiction finally collides with violent physical reality, the bill comes due. Carlos takes a deep breath and steps onto the grass.